Just being honest, I didn't have a ton of extra time or energy to pour into my yoga practice today. So I thought that this might be the perfect day to show you the kind of practice that I would do on a day just like this. It's going to be a quick flow, usually something that I will come up with uh, in real time. And it'll be a version of this with some little tweaks here and there. So you can see what kind of basic sequence that I would come up with for a day like today, where I still want to get a little bit of a stretch in, a little bit of time for myself, but fairly low key. So let's get going. We'll begin in a tabletop pose. And just start by doing some hip circles. You can take them whatever speed feels good. You might start out slow, get quicker. You might go the other way around. Whatever works for you. I do also want to give an option to come down onto your forearms to do the same thing. While you're here, you can also experiment with kind of including some cat-cow spines. So coming forward, arching your back up, crunching in with your abs, or a cat spine. And when you're on the back, belly down, you can be in your cow spine. Experiment with what works for you here. Just getting some motion into your hips, into your core, all through your spine. If you haven't yet, go ahead and go the other way. The more you come up and back too, also brings a lot of warming up into your shoulders. A couple more. When you're ready, you can step all the way back up to your tabletop. If you were on your forearms, curl your toes, press your hips up and back, come into downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk your feet out. Now next we're just gonna step into a fairly long standing sequence, incorporating all of my favorite standing poses. And honestly, some that I don't love so much, but I know my body needs. And these are things that I might switch in and out depending on the day, but this is a really good base. Breathing here just a bit in downward dog before we move on to all those standing poses. Pressing into the mat with your hands, straightening, lengthening through the back. Heels reaching gently towards the mat. When you're ready, inhale your right foot up and back for three-legged dog. Option to stay here, or one of my favorite poses, allowing your hips to open up to the right side and your right foot to come behind you, bending at the knee. Take an open three-legged dog. It's kind of an in-between of three-legged dog and wild thing pose. Opening up through your hips and through the right side of your body. I just love the way this feels. If it's not for you, just go ahead and stay in your three-legged dog. When you're ready, crunch your knee in towards your chest. Step your right foot between your hands. Gain your balance. Rise up. Whoop. Crescent lunge. Take any time here. Adjust your stance. Get comfy. Find your balance. Bending deep into your right leg. Reaching up through your hands. Next, keeping your arms up nice and long. Hinge forward at your hips, as far down as you can go with a nice straight spine. And as you come back up, sweep your arms back around. Continuing this motion, sweep your arms down toward the front, hinging back forward to find that long shape we were just in, continuing all the way around. Sweeping your arms backwards, opening up through the chest and shoulders. Feeling that fire coming through your legs and your core as you hinge forward and rise back up. Take a couple more. At your own speed. And when you're next in your crescent lunge, you can stay here. Take a moment. And on your next exhale, open up to your left, come into your warrior two. So right leg still bending, hips now open to the side, left foot either parallel to the back of the mat or slightly toes pointed inward, reaching out in front and behind you, gazing over your right fingertips, warrior two. Setting up for reverse warrior, with your left arm, find either your left thigh or your back, and sweeping your right arm up and over as far as it goes, following your fingertips with your gaze, reverse warrior. Take a breath here. On your next exhale, release back that warrior two. From here, we're going to go into extended side angle. So either grabbing a block or using your leg, bend your right arm 90 degrees, hinge forward to bring your forearm to your knee or your hand to the floor or a block. Sweeping your left arm up over your head, reaching it long so you make one long line from your left fingertips all the way down to your left toes. Extended side angle, gazing at your left fingertips. Nice and strong through your legs and your right arm, reaching with your left arm. From here, option to stay here, or bring your left arm straight up, straighten out through your right leg, find your triangle pose. You might still have your right arm on a block. You might bring it to your leg as long as it's not directly on your knee. We are here now, both legs straight and long, hips still opened up to the left side, gazing either straight forward in front of your body or up to your left fingertips. On your next exhale, bend through your right leg, rise back up to warrior two one more time. And windmilling your arms forward, pivot back up into your crescent lunge. Ball of the left foot on the mat. Take one more breath, reach up nice and long, and exhale. Bend forward, plant your hands on the mat. Sweep your right leg back up, coming back to your three-legged dog, or all the way open into your hip open, three-legged dog, wild thing combo. Take one breath here. With your next exhale, come back to your downward facing dog. Feeling that warmth. Feel free to take a child's pose here, or just a few breaths in downward facing dog. We're going to take it all again on the other side this time. So when you're ready, inhale your left leg up and back again, taking that three-legged dog with your hips square position or allowing your hips to open all the way up to the side, letting your foot fall behind you. Open hip three-legged dog. Up to you. On your next exhale, crunch your left leg up, step between your hands, prepare to rise up to your crescent lunge, ball of your right foot on the ground. Rise up nice and strong, straight through the back leg, bending through your left leg. Crescent lunge. Gonna go for those hinging arm circles again. So reaching up nice and strong. Exhale, hinge forward with a straight spine. And when you come back up, continue the motion with your arms, sweeping them forward. Hinge back forward as your arms come back down and rising back up. Continuing this motion on your own pace. Take a few of these, opening through your chest and arms. Take one more wherever you're at. And find yourself back in your crescent lunge. From here, we'll open up to the right side this time, spiraling your right foot onto the mat. Arms reach out in front and behind, warrior two. Gazing over your left fingertips, reaching your fingertips away from each other. Bringing your right arm, right hand to your right leg or behind your back. Inhale, sweep your left arm up and over, following it with your gaze. Reverse warrior, still bending through your left leg, straight and strong through your right leg. On your next exhale, release your arms back. Bend your left arm at the elbow, hinging forward. Rest either your left forearm on your left knee or bring your hand down to a block beside your left foot, reaching your right arm up nice and strong, gazing at your right fingertips, extended side angle. Excuse me. Bring your right hand actually in front of you, making that nice long line, straight line from your hand all the way down to your foot. Extended side angle, gazing at your right fingertips. From here, option to stay here, or we'll move into triangle pose, straightening nice and strong through your left leg. You might need to adjust your arm. Your left arm, your supporting arm, you can either bring it to your leg or adjust where your block is. Now sweeping your right arm straight up, gazing through your fingertips still, triangle pose. If you have any pain in your knees, go ahead and bend just a little bit. On your next exhale, bend into your left leg. Straighten back up, find your warrior two. And windmilling your arms forward as you pivot facing the front of your mat again, find your crescent lunge. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, reach nice and long through your fingertips, gazing upwards. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat, framing your foot. Step back, sweep your left leg up into your three-legged dog or your open hip version. On your next exhale, you can return your foot to the mat, downward dog or child's pose. And that is the bulk of our flow today. Take a couple more poses just to wind down. Whether you're in child's pose or your downward facing dog, find your way to tabletop. Cross your legs at your ankles and come back to a seated pose. Now I'll turn so you can see. Either find yourself in an easy seat, feet crossed in front of you, or you can also come soles of your feet together, knees out wide, Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Take a few breaths here. Nice long spine. Gently opening through your hips in your butterfly pose if you're there. We'll take some final motions through our spine to complete our practice for the day. We'll take some side bends. So tenting your right fingers out wide on the mat beside you. Extending through your arm. Inhale, sweep your left arm up over your head. Continue that motion until you feel a stretch in your right side body, following your left fingertips with your gaze. You may bend into your right arm, even as much as coming onto your right forearm. Find what works for you, feeling that nice stretch through your left side body. Take note if your left sits bone has come off the mat. Back off a little bit if it has. Try to keep rooted through your sits bones. both evenly on the mat. On your next exhale, sweep your left arm all the way back down. Release that stretch, setting up for the same thing on the other side. Now tenting your left fingers out, arm extended out to your left. Inhale, sweep your right arm up over, following it with your gaze as far as you can go so you feel that nice stretch through the right side of your body. Again, find how far to bend into your left arm to support yourself in as deep of a twist that works for you. A stretch and a twist. Gazing either at your fingertips or just forward. And on your next exhale, press back up, release through to a neutral seat. Now, whatever seated position you're in, we'll take a forward fold. So inhale, reaching up through your spine, nice and long. Exhale, fold forward as far as you can with a straight, long spine. Stop where you stick, take a breath there. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your ankles or the mat, wherever they reach. You can walk them out, allow your back to bend, fold forward, collapse forward, as far into your forward fold. This works for you. Take a few breaths here, allowing your head and neck to hang heavy. On your next exhale, press into your palms or neutral spine. We'll take one more motion here. Again, I'll twist so that you can see. Placing your palms out behind you on the mat, fingers facing away, thumbs facing away from each other. Place your hands about a foot behind your bum. So you have to lean back. And when you're ready, send your head and gaze back. Bring your belly and chest forward. Find your way into a gentle back bend. Whenever you're ready, opening up, rolling your shoulders back, finding your back bend here. When you're ready to come out of this, tuck your head up first and gently undo your back bend. You can walk your hands back up, find yourself back in a neutral spine. You can always repeat this as well, playing with the distance between your hands and your bum. See how that changes the pose for you. As a final moment here before we end today, you can also take this time, might take some trunk rolls, any other motions that your body is craving right now. But that is an example of something that I would do on a day like today, a flow that will get you going through all different parts of your body, opening up through everywhere and bringing the fire into your body for the day. I hope you enjoyed this flow, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.